Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another vlog. Today is February 13th, aka the day before Valentine's Day. I've been up for maybe a half hour now, and I originally got up to go pee, and I noticed something sitting on the bar in the kitchen. I was like, what the hell is that? I originally thought it was my Murphy bear. If you guys have been here, you know that Murphy is my comfort bear. I got him when I was going through my whole situation last January when my heart attack happened. So he's been with me since then. I thought it was him, and then I remembered that I slept cuddling him last night. So I was like, there's no way it's Murphy. So I went and observed closer, and it was the sweetest Valentine's Day gift, well, pre-Valentine's Day gift. It was him asking me to be his Valentine, which is so cute, on the counter. And it was the blanket that I have wrapped around me. It's like this beautiful pink, very soft with the white backing. It feels like a minky. I'm being dead ass. So this beauty was out there, and obviously that came with this teddy bear. It was like a gift set. I don't know what I'm going to name her, but she's so soft. Has a beautiful silk bow tie with the heart on her pad of her foot. So I don't know what I'm going to name this girl yet, but she's super cute. And I will be snuggling with her every night. So the blanket and that chick. And then obviously the sweetest card in the world. I'm going to keep that to myself, obviously, like what he wrote in it. But he wrote on the envelope, and the card says, "My favorite place in all the universe is right next to you." It has two little Valentine themed astronauts holding hands in the middle of the stars. If you know anything about me, you should know that I love space. I always have. I'm super into like space facts and like planets and all of that stuff. So this card is perfect, and it's so cute. And he wrote the sweetest message asking me to be his Valentine in it. So I will obviously cherish that forever. Um, he got me some Cadbury eggs. He knows these are my favorite. I've been a fan of these forever. Like, they've been my favorite for literally ever. I was in FFA my freshman year, and we were actually the only freshman team to go to state FFA. And me and my friend, one of my close friends at the time, were on the FFA team together. And I remember that trip, we were obsessed with these, and I think that's where my love for them began. Anyway, he got me a bag of those to enjoy. And then last but not least, he surprised me with this little jar cup. These are everywhere with the lid. That I've actually seen before when I was with him, something like this. I don't know if it was this exact one. And he went back and got it for me and surprised me with it this morning. Um, it has Hello Kitty herself. I'm not very familiar with these two. And then I believe this is Cinema Roll and Pom Pom Purin. Super cute with little hearts, and then it says besties for the resties. So cute. Obviously, this will be a hand wash cup only. I don't want to ruin the cuteness of it, but I will be using this today for my beverage of choice. I don't know what that's going to be yet. Probably just ice water, but so cute. I just wanted to say a giant thank you to Beebs. I love him so much. This man makes me feel special every single day, and there are days like today where he puts in a ton of extra effort to make me feel even more special than I normally do, which is a ton every single day. And today was one of those days where he went above and beyond to let me know that I'm loved and that I'm wanted and that I am special and I deserve to have a smile on my face and feel the love that he has for me. He treats me like a fucking princess. every single fucking day. I literally feel like I'm living in royalty around him. He waits on me hand and foot. Like, this man loves me so much. Um, I haven't really talked about it a lot, but I came from a place relationship wise where I'm not going to say anything about my ex partner, because that's not my place. Obviously, there are two sides to every story, and I'm not going to come on here and say things when, like I said, there are two sides to every story. Obviously, I have my views, but I'm not going to go into that on here. All I'm going to say is I came from a place where we were not good for each other. I think we were just toxic for each other. I don't think either of us are to blame. Um, you obviously meet people in your life that you just don't click with, you don't mesh with very well. And I think that was us for 98% of the relationship. Um, and obviously, like, it was good at first. We were in love at first. But sometimes that feeling doesn't last very long, and you realize that you're just not good with that person. I came from a situation like that, and I felt unwanted, and I didn't feel special, and I didn't feel loved hardly ever because, like I said, I think we were just toxic and not good for each other. Um, and now I'm in a place where I have a man that literally gives me the whole world, anything I want and more. He goes out of his way every single day, not just on Valentine's Day or birthdays or Christmas. He does it every single day to make sure that I do feel special and I do feel loved and I do feel wanted and I do feel like a fucking princess. Um, he does it every day, and he does it without fail, without wavering, without questioning, without complaining. I'm just so lucky to have him. Um, my only piece of advice to any young woman or um, girl, maybe, who is going through this situation where they feel like they're not loved and they're not special, and love will never find them, and they'll never find someone who treats them right, whether you're a man or a woman, whoever you are attracted to. If you feel that way about love in general, just know that the right person will come in good time. And for me, the right person came when I was almost 25 years old, right after a major health event. And he came in a time when I least expected it. I was literally like fresh out of a toxic relationship. Um, so yeah, moral of the story, true love will come in good time. You will find a person that's perfect for you, that makes you feel good. Um, and I hope that when you find that person, you feel the love that I feel today, because everyone deserves to feel that way, man or woman. Um, yeah, I just want to say thank you to Beebs. I love him so much, and I just want to let you guys know that your person is out there, and I'm so, so thankful that I found mine. So that was my day before Valentine's Day morning so far. I do obviously have other stuff to show you guys. I mentioned in yesterday's vlog, I believe. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But I believe I mentioned in yesterday's vlog that my sister had some gel polish and a curing lamp for me, because I asked her if she had polish I could use to do my toes. She was like, yeah, I have some polishes and a lamp you can have if you want to come get them. So yesterday I hung out with Jackson, my cousin, my baby cousin, and him and I went over to my sister's and picked them up. I was expecting like 3 or 4 polishes. No, this bitch gave me 31 polishes. If you don't know, my sister does nails. She has her license to do nails, so she has a shitload of gel polishes that she bought when she was trying to figure out what brand she likes. And these were obviously ones that she wasn't using for the studio. Anyway, let me get to the point. Um, they are these, I don't know how to say the brand, but this is what they look like. Obviously they have the color numbers on top, and like I said, over 30 of them, and I did my toes with them yesterday. I will show you guys that in a second. So she gave me those polishes. I kept the little foam thing that they were sitting in just in case I want to display them differently and not keep them in this box. But for now they're in this box. I just had it, so I figured I would use it. So those are the polishes. That was super sweet of my sister. And then she had a lamp as well. I'm not going to take it out, but she gave me a curing lamp. So huge thank you to my sister for that. She saves my ass literally every time, I swear to God. Don't mind the messy floor, but these are my toes. I went with neutral because you guys know I had the bright green salsa verde polish left over on my toes from like 4 or 5 months ago. So yeah, I mentioned that yesterday, but now they're super cute and done. I guess what I'm trying to say is I was just tired of the bright colors. I wanted something simple and cute, and obviously I love sparkles. So yeah, that's that. I've had a good morning. Clearly, I feel very special and loved. So yeah, I do have normal people stuff to do that I do every day. You guys know every morning I take my blood pressure. I will update you guys on last night's reading. I ended up finding this little notebook that my sister gave me forever ago with the sticky notes that I showed yesterday that I wrote what I'm grateful for on. So she gave me these together, and I ended up finding the notebook in our junk drawer yesterday. I was looking for something, and I was like, oh my God, that would be perfect to write my blood pressure readings in. So when I show my cardiologist, he doesn't have to look at like 14 million sticky notes. So I ended up transferring all the ones off of the sticky notes to this little book. So that's that. But I will read you last night's blood pressure. It was taken at 8:10 p.m. It was 113/73. And my pulse was 70 beats per minute. Activities, we went grocery shopping, I took a bath, cleaning, etc. So that was last night's reading. I have evening here and morning here. Obviously, if I need to take up more pages for February for morning and evening, I can just do it on the next page. But yeah, that was last night's. I obviously have to take this morning's reading, so I'm gonna prep my log and then I will come back and let you guys know what my reading is. All right, I am back. I took my blood pressure for today. It was 118/71 with a pulse of 70 beats per minute. So very, very good. That is the first time in 6 days that it's been not 73 or 77. So very steady though in the 70s, so I'm not mad at it at all. And then obviously later tonight I will take my nighttime blood pressure. So awesome. That is done for the day. And obviously, like I do every morning, I am going to take my pills as well. I always have shit balanced everywhere, so that's what you just heard falling was my journal and my blood pressure log. So I did refill my medication container last night, both my daily and nightly, so that is done. But I fear right now is the perfect time to use my new little cup. So before I do my cup situation, I refilled them. Obviously, you can see there's one more pill than there usually is. That is my anxiety pill. I don't typically put it or like take it every day or even put it in here, but I figured like even if I don't take it, it'll be in my pill container if I need it. So I don't have to take it with my daily dose, but it's there just in case. That being said, these two don't have it because I had these two left over. You guys know my birth control has to be in order, so this one has a star on it because I have to start Friday, Saturday, and then jump to Sunday, Monday because, like I said, I had these two left. I don't know if that's confusing or not, but I'm going to take my daily dose. Got a nice glass of ice water and took my pills. Alright, I just did today's I'm grateful for sticky note, and I stuck that up on the wall with the one I did yesterday. I also put the sweet card that Beebs got me on my shelf, and the envelope is up there. And I have my cutie little bear and my new cup with my water in it. Like I was saying, the sticky notes and the little notebook are the same brand, and I will show you. So there's that and that. So super cute, and I'm planning on making good use of this, so I'm glad I found it again. So I have to do reptile chores this morning, but before I do that, I'm gonna plug in my earbuds so they can charge, and I will have them tonight. So I plugged them in on Beep's side. He has this cool little anchor with a bunch of C ports in the front, so I'm gonna let those charge here for a bit. Now that we are done that, like I said, I have to do the reptiles. Morning check-in. I do this every morning. I'm not gonna open the window. It is pretty cold outside, and like I always say, I don't want these three getting too cold, so we're just gonna say good morning. I did end up making Grogu fresh food yesterday afternoon while my cousin was here. I do need to feed Noodle though still, so we are going to do that a little bit later. I also mentioned yesterday that I need to set up that Govee outlet, so I'm going to download the app today and probably set that up, and I've decided I'm going to use it for the two geckos, so I'll plug it into that outlet and obviously just plug both of those lights into that. So we're going to set that up. I'll obviously do that after this vlog, so you guys probably won't see that today, but I do plan on doing that. Grogu's food is absolutely demolished, so he was a hungry boy. I tried to feed that man like every 2 to 3 days. I try not to let it sit any longer than that. I've learned to feed them around that schedule from my sister. That's what she usually does with all her critters. If you guys have seen my videos with my sister or have seen her channel at all, you know she has 1.5 million reptiles, so I've learned that from her. Like I said, I will feed Noodle a little bit later, or maybe I'll just prep his food now and give it to him this morning. Noodle would eat like every fucking 3 days if I let him. He's a hungry boy, but I only feed him once every week to week and a half. Time to mist. All right, misting is done. I have decided that I am going to prep Noodle's food now so I can get feeding him out of the way. I've mentioned how I feed Noodle before, I believe, like the process of feeding him and what that looks like, but I guess I will briefly run over it in this vlog. So I'm going to grab his jar. I use this specifically for Noodle. It's important with snakes to keep their shit completely separate. Obviously, you can get very sick if you don't wash your hands. That's why that's so important. And obviously, it is always a possibility that your other reptiles will get sick as well if you cross-contaminate. So be very, very careful. So I am going to grab my tongs, tweezers, whatever you want to call them. These are from ZooMed, I believe. You can get these at PetSmart. So I'm going to grab that, and then obviously I keep his mice, his pinky mice, in the freezer. So we're going to head out there and prep his food. So I personally don't use Reptisafe when it comes to Noodles, like prepping his mouse, because the mouse itself doesn't actually touch the water. You guys will see it's obviously in a plastic bag. So I don't use Reptisafe for his food. I do use it in his water dish like I do all of the other critters in there. I'm gonna put some of Beeb's sweats on so I can actually show you what I'm doing. I don't have pants on and I don't want to flash you. I always wear Beeb sweats because I have like 2 pairs of my own and I can never fucking find them. All right, once you've acquired a full fit of your boyfriend's clothing, you're ready to feed your snake. So I have the jar, obviously, and I have the tongs like you guys saw, and now I'm gonna grab his mouse. Unfortunately, we don't have a separate freezer, so we have to keep his mouse in our normal freezer. We keep it very separate from all of the food that we actually eat. They are always up here. And I believe I've showed you guys before, we used to feed him these Arctic pinkies. There's 20 of them, but these are like the medium size and he wouldn't take them. I feel like they were a little bit too big. So my sister and I went to PetSmart and got 5 frozen pinkies that are a lot smaller. So we use these guys. So trigger warning to anybody who has a queasy stomach. You might want to skip this part. I do use my hands to open the box and grab the baggie with the mouse in it. There are 2 left. I never touch the mouse with my hands. I always use the tongs. Obviously, I will wipe down the counter afterwards because the box itself and the bag with the mouse in it did touch. So I will wash the counter. I'm going to cut this open with preferably a knife so I don't have to dirty our scissors. Obviously, the knife will go straight in the dishwasher. So I'm going to open this and put it in a Ziploc bag and seal it. And then I will show you guys me putting it in the hot water. All right, I have prepped the little pinky mouse. And I tried my best to get all the air out of it so I can crunch it up and put it in his feeding jar. So yeah, and then I obviously seal it very, very well so no water gets in there with the mouse. It's not that big of a deal if it does. I mean, in my experience, it always ends up getting in there, but I try to prevent it as best as I can. So we're gonna open the jar, stuff the bag down in there, and then we're going to fill this up with very hot water. And like I said, we only use this jar and those tongs for Noodle Man. And like I said, the knife that I use to cut open the mouse will go straight in the dishwasher to be washed. And honestly, I just wash it by hand most of the time. I don't want it in there contaminating all of our dishes. But I will not use our dish brush because that's fucking gross and you can get very, very sick. So I have kept the knife separate, as you can see, from all of our dishes. But I'm not going to do that until after I prep the food. So I'm going to warm up some very hot water just out of the sink. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it has Repsay because the mouse itself doesn't touch it. So I'm going to let this heat up and fill this all the way up to the brim and then close the lid over it. So I washed the knife by hand without slicing myself, thank God. Just so all the gross mice germs are off of that knife and it can go in the dishwasher with the rest of our dishes. And I put the mouse in the hot water and I washed my hands. I don't feel the need to wash the tongs. I only grab this part. I never really try to touch where I grab the mouse. So yeah, that is all taken care of. I'm not going to touch the jar until I go to feed him. And then after I have fed him and he's taken the food and I've rinsed that out, I will wash my hands again. Like I said, you can never be too safe. There are a lot of germs, not only with snakes, but with their feed as well, whether it's live or frozen. But that will sit there and then I'm going to set a timer for around 35 minutes. And obviously if it's not warm enough, I can let it sit longer, but we're gonna go about 30. We're gonna do like 33 and then start. And I'll do my thing until I hear this go off. We'll check the food and then if it's ready, we'll go in and feed Mr. Noodle. So I do have to put this hand towel straight in the washer because it touched the counter where the mice were. So throw that in the washer. I'm going to put these on top of Noodle's enclosure. Obviously, I'm going to use them to feed him, and I'm going to wipe down the counter while I'm at it. So just put those there until we're ready to feed him. We're going to throw this, like I said, into the washing machine. I will replace it while I'm at it. I did some laundry yesterday, so we have plenty of clean hand towels. So I'm going to grab one and put this where we normally put our hand towel, which would be just on the handle of the stove, or oven, I should say. Same thing. Not same thing, but you know what I mean. Same appliance. So I sprayed the counter with Fabuloso that was full, and of course it fell off the counter and spilled all over the floor. So I'm going to deal with this mess, and then we will wipe the counter down, which was obviously the original plan. But something like this always happens to me. And I am literally just going to grab the O-Cedar mop and mop it up with that, because there's no way I'm dirtying fucking a whole towel to clean it up. So come in the utility closet, grab the mop. I swear to God, like minor inconveniences like that always fucking happen to me. And I'm just going to do my best to mop it up. I'm not going to get the mop wet or anything. It's not that serious. I'm just going to mop up all the cleaner that's now all over the floor. So, yeah, BRB. All right, crisis averted. I'm going to put this back and then do the counter. And I'm grabbing a separate wash rag since there are mouse and snake germs all over it. And then I will also throw this straight in the washer. And with all of our laundry, but especially anything that has had snake or mouse germs on it, we will use laundry sanitizer. Anyway, now I can get to the point. The original plan, which was to wipe down the general area anywhere the snake germs have touched. Obviously, we put food on the counter. There is drinks on the counter, and we don't want to ingest any germs from that. 29 minutes on the clock. So like I said, I'm going to do my own thing until that goes off. I'm going to shut this for now, and we will come back in here when we're ready to feed Noodle. So real quick, I wanted to mention, obviously my sister gave me the gel polish and I did my toes. That being said, I needed rubbing alcohol to like wipe off the sticky layer on top that's always left when you cure gel polish. My sister does it every time, even on my nails. We didn't have any alcohol. We have acetone, but not alcohol. Obviously, if I use acetone, it would remove the polish. Pretty self-explanatory. So we went and picked up 50% isopropyl alcohol. Doesn't matter the percent, just any alcohol will do. So we picked that up for when I do my toes. I can use this to get the sticky layer off, and I'm actually going to put it with my nail stuff, but I wanted to show you. And then we got cotton rounds, just cheap package of cotton rounds. It doesn't matter which ones they are. I needed this for my micellar water that I showed you guys yesterday. And I can obviously also use this to remove nail polish. So I'm going to take both of those and put them with the gel polish, just so I have all of my nail stuff in one place. But I'm not going to put the whole stack of cotton rounds in there. I'm literally just going to take like several of them out and throw them in that box. So I decided I don't want them just like floating around, getting all messed up. So I'm going to grab a Ziploc baggie, just a sandwich bag, and put the cotton rounds for nail stuff in that. So I've accessed our baggie drawer, whatever you want to call it. Of course I drop it. Pick that up off of the floor. Luckily I just mopped the shit out of it. And we're going to put those cotton rounds in here. That was a lot of work. I need water. in my cute ass little cup. Thank you to my love. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna open this up and take a good stack out of here of cotton rounds. Kind of spread them out and throw this baggie and the alcohol in with my nail stuff. So I've decided I'm going to use this box that my nail stuff is in for like hair stuff and face wash, and just keep it in here with my makeup train case. So obviously my leave-in conditioner will go in there because the lamp doesn't fit and it's like bending the lid. It's a little too tall for this box, so I'm going to transfer all of my nail stuff to a different box. It's just not fitting, and obviously I will put all of the polish back in the little foam piece. This definitely was not in my agenda this morning, but I guess we're doing it. And then I'm gonna go snuggle with my new teddy bear and blankie. I love my man, holy shit. Anyway, I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna keep face wash probably in the top and hair stuff in the bottom. That being said, my solar water and cotton rounds in there. And then I'm going to put all my hair stuff, like I said, in the bottom. I'm also going to throw my deodorant in with like the face wash probably, so it's easily accessible. And then I will throw any stuff like that in here as I get it in the future. So since this is all like bathroom type products, I'm going to just keep it in the bathroom. That way I don't have to get it out of the bedroom every time. So I'm just going to put it on top of my little drawer set. And obviously I can change it around if I don't like it, but for now, that is where it's going to sit. And then I want my lotion out, so it's just over there. And obviously, now that my tattoo is a few days old, I can use the tattoo lotion on it. But I obviously have all of my nail stuff laid out on the bed. You guys can see like a bunch of beautiful colors. There are a few cat eyes, for example, this one. I just need to ask my sister if she has a magnet. I can always get my own if not. But bunch of pretty colors. I want to do maybe this blue next time. Nail file, acetone, alcohol, cotton rounds. We're going to put all of this in a different box, which the box that I want to put it in is currently full of art supplies. So I'm going to have to find a place for all of that. And I have no idea where that place is going to be. You know what? Gallon bag it is, because right now my nail stuff is more important. I really, can I speak English? What the hell? I really would prefer not to waste a freezer safe gallon bag because they are fucking expensive. But I'm just gonna write art supplies on here with a Sharpie and throw everything in there. Hopefully it fits. I ended up doing two, one for the supplies themselves and one for like paint. Gather these hoes up. Let's go see if everything will fit. You guys are going to come along on the trial and error process with me. I'm going to start with paint. I just have a few acrylic paints. Some of them I actually brought home from my sister's. We were going to film a stocking video for Vlogmas back in December where we made our own stockings. That never happened. That being said, the paints that I brought home are in the Corolla. I haven't brought them inside yet, so maybe I'll do that when Beebs gets home. But I have a bunch of these Craft Smart acrylic paints, I believe, from Michaels that Beebs ordered me when I painted my dad a rock. I painted him a Washington Commanders rock. That's his favorite team, and he's so cute. He still has it on display. So yeah, put all of those in there. I believe that's it for now. And then I'll put the brushes and everything else in the supplies bag. Alright, I ended up having a shitload of paintbrushes, like way more than I thought I did. So I threw all of those in the bottom of the bag. I'm just going to kind of layer everything so it's somewhat organized. Now I'm going to do like pens and pencils and Sharpies and markers. And then any other shit will go on top. And also the refill for my erasers and lead. So that's all for this bag right now. It kind of takes me back to childhood. My mom used to always have a baggie full of pens and pencils. We actually had a whole drawer dedicated to like pens, pencils, and markers growing up. So this is my mom's way, I believe, of being like, hey, I'm here. So, hi, Mom, I love you. Anyway, now I'm going to find a place for all the other shit that's in here that's not art supplies. I didn't realize how much junk I had. Some of it's makeup, so I'll obviously put that in my train case. But for now, art supplies are taken care of. I'm going to just throw these in the space underneath our shelves. Oh my god, you guys, I just found a little note on a piece of a Ziploc bag that I cut out. Beebs used to make me tuna fish sandwiches and leave them in the fridge for the next day while he was at work. So I'm gonna probably hang this up with the rest of them. My old weed jar that I got in Las Vegas, it says hi again Las Vegas, with weed still in it. So I'm gonna rinse that out. It's so tempting for me to take that out and smoke it, but I'm not going to. I've made it too far. I can't go back now. I would literally hate myself. And I will show you guys proof that I'm not gonna smoke it. By the way, 10 minutes left on the timer. Also, last night we went to Walmart to get stuff for tonight's dinner, and we went through the clearance aisle because Beebs wanted to like scope out anything, if there was anything we absolutely needed or wanted. And I got a new phone case, so maybe I will show you that. But here is the jar with the remnants of the marijuana. Say goodbye. Oh, that hurts my heart. Oh no, that makes me so sad. Anyway, I'm gonna rinse this out with soap because it smells like weed, and dry it out. All right, all clean, and I'm actually gonna keep all of my tapers and gauges. I believe I mentioned yesterday that I used to stretch my ears. So if I ever decide to do that again, I will have them. Okay, Tigger's foot's in the way. I'm just gonna move that big bitch. He can sit in the background. I found some change in this box. I'm not really sure why. So I'm gonna throw it in Beeb's giant Coca-Cola change jar. Love that for me. Okay, after literally 20 minutes, everything that was in the box is separated. I obviously put all the gauges and tapers and the little O-rings to secure the gauges in here, so I will put those somewhere. I had a few lip products, the love note I showed you, some jewelry, and some sunglasses that we got at a car show. So I'm just gonna put the jewelry in here. There's a few charms from my mom's jewelry box, but her jewelry box is pretty full, so I'm just gonna throw those in there. I also, Beebs was using my charger that I had plugged into my monitor. The battery is still full, but I set it out so I would be reminded to plug it back in. And Beebs just left the cord next to it. So I sealed the jar with the gauges and tapers in it. I'm just gonna throw it on that shelf. I've been trying to stay organized recently, if you can't tell. All right, box acquired. Okay, my timer just went off for noodles food, but I will check that in a second. This is what I ended up doing. There's no rhyme or reason to how these are organized. I just figured it would be convenient to be able to see the colors when I want to do my nails. Obviously acetone, alcohol, the cotton rounds, and the cord. The lamp unfortunately wouldn't fit in here, so I'll probably just put it in the bottom drawer in the bathroom with all of my like hair appliances. But for now, it says jewelry. I'm going to scribble that out and write nail supplies. Just like that, the box is organized, and I'm going to fit this in the bottom drawer in the bathroom as well. I also ended up moving the face products and the hair stuff box over there. Then I put my lotion and the candle on top of the drawers. So I'm going to try to fit this in the bottom drawer. So my goal when I organized this drawer the first time was to keep it organized. I didn't necessarily do that. But you guys know, if you saw that video, I put this pink basket in it. So I put all of my hair appliances, blow dryer, 2 straighteners, my heat pad is in the bottom, and then the cord for my diffuser. Throw that in there, and then I'm just going to throw the nail box behind it. Literally a perfect fit, just like that. And then I'm going to bring the lamp in here and put that in there as well. By the way, this is the lamp that she gave me. I believe you can get these pretty much anywhere, even like Amazon. And this guy is gonna go here. That literally took me 5 ever for one task. Like, what the hell? I've decided that I'm just gonna shut this little note from Beebs inside of my journal just to protect it. So yeah. So now I don't have bullshit stacked all up the wall right here. I think it looks organized this way. So that's what we came up with. And I'm going to put my brush in with the hair stuff. Just open it. And shut the box. I'm so proud of myself. That was literally amazing. So productive. I love that. What a fucking housewife. All right, time to feed Mr. Noodle Man. So I will show you guys that, obviously. So the process for this pretty much stays the same every time. Like I said, I will wash my hands when I'm done again. But I'm gonna drain all of the water. And I will scrub the sink out after this, making sure it doesn't touch any of our dishes. I'm gonna open the bag. I will do this with my hands. Like I said, I am gonna wash them. And I will re-wipe the counter. But I'm gonna dump the Pinky Mouse into the drained jar that we warmed it up in. And I'm going to close the lid over it to keep it warm until we find his ass. And I'm going to throw this in the garbage can. Okay, I'm going to close this lid so it stays warm. And we're going to find Noodle. And I'm going to do this off camera because I kind of have to hurry so his mouse doesn't get cold. But we're going to find his little sneaky ass somewhere in this enclosure. He was actually in plain sight under his water bowl, so that was easier than I thought. I am going to leave you guys like this so you can see what I'm doing. I have his food. I'm going to grab it with the tongs. There is a little bit of hot water left in the bottom, so it should have stayed pretty warm. And it only took me like 2 seconds. So I'm literally not worried about the temperature. I'm going to rinse it off because I don't want sand all over it for him. Usually he will take it pretty fast, but we shall see. Here, Noodle Man, you want some food? Does you want it? He's thinking about it. He's sniffing it. I try to move it every time I feed him, so he thinks it's a live animal. Obviously, don't move it too much because he won't be able to grab it with his little mouth. Noodle doesn't strike, so he takes it pretty slow. He has taken the mouse, so we're going to leave him alone. I'm going to go empty his jar the rest of the way and put it back in the box. Same with the tongs. But for now, we're going to let Noodle Man enjoy his food. Okay, I'm going to go wash my hands and rinse. Maybe wash my face too, because I did like touch my cheek on accident. So I'm going to do this and leave Noodle alone while he eats. And I am using antibacterial soap. All right, hands are clean. Obviously, I will wipe my phone down with a Clorox wipe since I was grabbing my phone in between, but I won't do that until after this vlog. So yeah, Noodle is fed. So yeah, now I can enjoy the rest of my morning after doing some productive stuff with my new blanket, my new teddy bear, and a nice glass of water. All right, I just took a few thumbnails. I think I'm gonna just enjoy the rest of my morning. I do have to do some other stuff today, but I'm not gonna vlog that. I've already gotten 45, almost 46 minutes of footage. I did put, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys, I did get a micro SD card. My phone supports a micro SD, so I have more storage, and I have it set up to where all of my other videos and photos and whatever will automatically go to the SD card if I don't have internal storage. So that's nice. But for now, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I will obviously try to see you guys tomorrow for another vlog. But I hope you guys had a good day before Valentine's Day, and I hope you spend tomorrow with your partner, or if you don't have a partner, I hope you spend it with the people you love. And that being said, like I always say, don't forget to always express what you're thankful for, drink your water, take your meds, and if your posture's bad, fix it. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.